If your church does not go back to the apostolic teachings, if your church does not have apostolic teaching, then you are not Catholic. Now, some out there would say, wait a minute, hold on. There are many people, there are many churches out there who claim that they can trace their lineage back to the apostles, and it's all through the laying on of hands by the bishops. And this is what is commonly called apostolic succession. Now, here's a big kicker for a lot of those who hold to this apostolic succession. It's not that apostolic succession necessarily is a bad thing. It's great if you could trace your lineage and your ordination back to the apostles themselves through the laying on of hands. It sounds like a wonderful thing. Here's a problem, though. You know who else had apostolic succession? Arius, who was a bishop, who taught Arianism, who taught heresy. Was Arius apostolic? If you say yes, because of the sole reason why Arius would be apostolic is that he had apostolic succession, he was properly ordained as a bishop, then you have a problem. You have a problem here because you don't have a complete understanding of what it means to be apostolic, nor do you have a complete understanding of what it means to be Catholic. Because if it means to be Catholic, to hold to the apostles as the foundation of the church, as the foundational teaching of the church, that apostolic teaching is what makes somebody Catholic, then ultimately you have an issue here with apostolic succession, here with how apostolic succession plays out in the life of the church, because someone can validly have hands laid on them, but that doesn't save them necessarily from falling into false teaching. Even if apostolic succession was 100% correct, if you don't have the apostolic teaching, then you're not apostolic. Your succession lineage does not matter if you do not have the teachings of the apostles. If you will not echo what the apostles said and taught, you cannot be apostolic, even if you have apostolic succession. Now, many who hold to apostolic succession would say that, the gift of the Holy Spirit is conferred onto bishops so that they would not err, so that they would not teach the things that they taught. However, they would not teach false doctrine. But here's the problem with that assessment. Here's the problem. The apostolic teaching, which we have from the apostles, tell us that we can resist the Holy Spirit, that we can fall from the faith, that yes, even bishops can fall from the faith. And we should not treat grace lightly. We should not abuse grace. And therefore, all the more reason to hold to the apostolic teachings. All the more reason to say, well, if someone wants to truly be Catholic and if someone wants to truly be in apostolic succession, let's examine their teachings. As Jesus says in Matthew 7, when he says, you will know them by their fruit. Now, a lot of people want to use Matthew 7 as a way to fruit check other Christians, as a way to basically say, well, are you doing enough in your Christian life? But that's not what Jesus says in context. What Jesus says is actually talking about the teaching of someone. If someone is teaching something other than what the apostles taught and gave to the church, then there is no foundation. There's no foundation, there's no apostolic succession, and ultimately there is no Catholic Church apart from the teachings of the apostles. If your church does not go back to the apostolic teachings, if your church does not have apostolic teaching, then you are not Catholic.